What's up guys, welcome back to Aquatic Elements. Today is a very exciting video because me and Jimmy Goldfish USA are on our way to Jack Shogun. Now if you know your fancy goldfish, you will know that Shogun is probably the most famous farm in the world, or one of the most famous farms in the world, and he has some absolutely amazing fish. So we're on our way now. We should be there in about 10-15 minutes, and then we can get to the farm and check out his place. Now I am super excited to get here, and I cannot wait to see what this farm is like. I'm gonna bring you along for the tour, so make sure you continue watching, and I'll catch you in a minute. And here we have made it. As you can see behind me, Shogun, and you can see lots of pictures of goldfish on the wall. So we are now at this Shogun cafe, which is more of a retail show outlet, if that makes sense. So you can see the small farm right behind me. It's not very big, it's definitely one of the smaller farms, but they have a much bigger farm. This is more where they show customers what fish they have, I've been informed, and that's what I gathered from it. It seems like this is where they hold a lot of their fish for showing, and a lot of their fish for competitions, a lot of the fish for sale as well, and not many customers can actually go to the main farm. So unfortunately we can't hold any fish up to the camera because there are a lot of fish that are sold and a lot of secret fish, if that makes sense. So we've got to be a bit careful on what fish we can and can't show, but I will take you on a full tour around this farm, and we can actually see what fish they have in the ponds. So let's head round and check out this small Shogun Cafe farm. So I'm just coming in to one of the gates here, and you can see this is the farm behind me. Now I'm going to spin the camera around, and we can talk a little bit more about the systems, the ponds, and just the way it's set up, and then we can go and start to film some of the fish. I'm just going to head over to the far side, not very far at all. I think we've got 4 main rows of tanks. So you can see behind me, we've got 4 main rows of tanks. Each row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ponds on it. So we've got 22 tanks times 4, we've got 88 concrete ponds. So let's spin the camera around and have a closer look at them. So here are the tanks here. You can see they are customers looking at some fish in the show tank there at the side view. And just before we look at those tanks, we've got this big outdoor mud pond. Now I don't think they would keep any fish in here as it isn't protected from the birds and predators, but what I have noticed is the drainage channels that run down the farm actually run out to this. Looks like there is some fish just in there. I don't think you can see them, very small. I assume these are rejects and culls that are just put down into the channels. But we've got the same layout, we've got the concrete ponds. Each one is much shallower than the previous farms that we've been to. Looks like they probably about 6 to 8 inches deep, I would say. Very shallow, probably holding around 350 litres of water. Very low stocking densities. Each one has obviously the pipes where they can get the trickle into the system, and then every single one has an air stone as well. Really clean farm. Obviously they're doing big water changes constantly on these fish tanks, and they're definitely keeping them very clean. Although we do have the sun right above us, you'll notice that there is no algae on the bottom, and the systems are very clean, especially for being outdoor systems. Now obviously this is down to the low stocking densities as well, but it is very interesting to see how clean and clear this farm is, and I assume this is obviously for showing the best customers. So now we've had a look at the layout of the farm, the construction of the ponds, and just how this farm is set up. Let's now take a look at the fish. Obviously, as I said, we can't lift any of the fish up, but we can have a really close look at them in the ponds. So let's check them out. So let's just go on a full tour of the farm, covering all of the ponds, and then we can head back onto some individual specific fish. So in this one we've got 2 Randa short tails, we've got 3 Aranda in this one, really nice black one. You can actually see that they're feeding pellets. So they're feeding pellets on the bottom. I'm not allowed to get too close to the water, I've been told, but I'm going to get what footage that I can. We got some more Aranda in here. Now what's interesting, in some of the farms that we've been to, they've said when the fish are very young they can look a little bit ugly, if that makes sense, but as they get bigger and older they then start to develop the body shapes, they then start to develop the wen growth, and they start to look prettier, which is really, really interesting, because you would have thought at a young size you would look for fish that have really, really good potential. They are really, really pretty at a young age, but that is simply not the case, which I found was really, really interesting to be told. We've got more Oranda in these ponds here. Obviously the running theme of our trip to Thailand is mainly Oranda. Now over here we've got some bigger Oranda. So these are really, really nice. We've got 2 blacks, we've got a calico, red and white, and a Kirin over there. I would say these fish are probably about the size of my hand, probably about 5 inches or so. You can see Jack's just turned up in his car. We've got more Oranda. We've got some nice Kirins. Now heading down this aisle, we've got some slightly larger fish, about 4.5 inches. That one looks really, really nice. A lot of these fish have got potential to be jumbo size. Interesting to see what food they're feeding. Don't know what kind of food that is, but maybe it's their own recipe. It could be their own Shogun food. Some really nice calicos over here. Got about 8 pieces in this pond. So it looks like most of the ponds there's between 4 to 8 pieces, just to keep the stocking densities low, keep the growth nice. We've got a lovely, lovely tiger here and some Kirin. Very, very nice fish. It's interesting to see the style of these fish. These are all very, very young fish. I'm assuming, going off the growth rates that some of the breeders have told us about, these are generally probably about 4 to 5 months old, maybe slightly less. They grow them very, very quickly. Now the majority of these fish are eating pellets. I can see they've left a lot of pellets on the bottom, which is quite interesting to see, because in the UK I would say you'd normally remove those from the system, but because they're flowing water through, I'm assuming that these pellets aren't going to actually disturb or disintegrate and cause any water quality issues. Some very, very nice ranchu here. Very, very large, about 5 inches or so. Really nice quality red and white ranchu. So these ponds all seem to be pretty empty up here. Let's just keep walking and have a look. More Oranda, slightly different style. And you can see some of the ponds are blue where they've used methylene blue. So these are obviously being treated before they're going to customers potentially. You can see we've got some methylene blue staining on the side here. So there's a bucket of methylene blue over there, and I believe a few of these fish are actually going to the Bangkok Goldfish show, which is probably going to be the next video or the video after. Jimmy's actually got some fish in the show, which is going to be interesting to see, and there's going to be some absolutely spectacular fish there. So a lot of them use methylene blue and also potassium permanganate to treat the fish. Obviously the water temperatures are very, very high, so they don't seem to suffer with any white spot issues, but they just use the methylene blue to get rid of any bacteria. Got some more lovely short tail Oranda in here. Some really, really cool more short tail Oranda Kirin style just here. More Kirin. Haven't seen too many ranchu just yet. Maybe we'll see some more as we venture around. Ah, here we go. We got some more smaller ranchu, about 3.5 inches. So we've got 2 ponds here. It's nice to see that the wend's not too excessive on these fish. I think the majority of these fish are the either Godzilla line, or they're growing them to jumbo sizes, and the wen shape isn't quite the buffalo heads that you might find on some of the other fish. Some really, really nice Kirin in here. And then some nice calicos here. We've got 6 pieces in this pond, all coming up for a little bit of food. Now I think they feed the majority of these fish around 4 times a day. You can see that methylene blue, we've got some mixed up in this bucket just here. Quite a lot of these ponds are empty, obviously been sold to customers, and I think they're putting some fish in the viewing tank up here. Hopefully we'll be able to see them, but I'm just going to head round, not disturb them for the moment, and check out the last row of fish that they've got. Looks like we've got some slightly bigger fish on this side. We've got some Oranda, some nice ranchu, nice Sakura ranchu. Really unique looking Oranda there, maybe an Apache. I'm not sure how stable that black's going to be. some nice black oranda, and then we've got quite a few fish in this pond. Small size, around 3 inches. And yeah, they've just put a lovely Kirin in the viewing tank here. More Kirin oranda, Apache oranda. Let's head over and check out that Kirin over there. Wow, check out the quality of this Kirin oranda. Short body, short tail, really nice proportions. Got double anal fins, holds itself really well in the water. You can see it's got no buoyancy issues, no swim bladder issues, sitting perfectly level in the water. Super high class fish. Now I'm not sure, but this one might be going to the Bangkok Goldfish show. You can see we've just got this metal stand with this viewing tank on it. Probably holds about 35 litres of water, I'd say, just in the middle of the farm here. Look at the wen growth. We've still got enough vision in the eyes, which obviously helps with the swimming pattern. Very nice activity levels, good wen on the top, the cheeks and the chin area. Nice even colour throughout with a really nice orange belly to it as well. Absolutely stunning fish. Now there's not too many large fish at this farm. Most of the fish are 5 inches and below. But just check out the quality of that. Absolutely stunning. We've now just put 4 oranda into this viewing tank. I'm just going to sit down in the seat and have a close look at them. Absolutely superb quality. Short tail oranda. You can see we've got a calico up here. This is a mix of male and female fish. All really young fish still. About 8 months old. Kirin, calico. Just superb quality. These are absolutely insane. Look at the wen growth, the body structure, the body shape. The fins are all perfect. The swimming pattern really nice. Wow, absolutely amazing. Just blown away, speechless really. Just take a look at the quality. No words, I can't really have any words to describe these fish. Just absolutely phenomenal to see in person. Now we've actually got 2 more oranda in the viewing tank, and Jimmy Goldfish has actually just purchased these for the competition that is going to be tomorrow, the Bangkok competition. Let's have a close look at them. So out of the 4 oranda that we just had in the viewing tank, he's actually selected these 2, as you can see, with his nice stickers on the tank. He's actually chosen these 2 oranda for this competition in Bangkok. Very nice quality, as I said earlier in the video. Absolutely superb fish. I cannot wait to see these guys in the competition and the rest of the fish that are going to be available. It's going to be an absolutely amazing video, so make sure you subscribe if you want to check out that video as well. So that's the 2 fish that Jimmy's purchased. Let's head around the rest of the farm and check out what other fish they've got here at Shogun Cafe. Absolutely awesome to see that show quality fish, and just behind me in those 3 bags there we've got some more fish that are going to the Bangkok Goldfish show. Let's head around the farm, check out a few of the individual fish that I've picked out, a few fish that really stand out to me, and then we can wrap up this video ready for the Bangkok Goldfish show. They're just discussing over there a few of the fish that are actually going to the Goldfish show, that are getting bagged up ready for that show tomorrow. I just really wanted to focus on sort of these 5 fish here before we finish the video, just because the quality is absolutely phenomenal. Now these fish, as I said earlier in the video, are about hand size, so I would say they're about 5.5 inches in total length. Really nice proportions, lovely body shapes, really good wen growth, wen development, and fish of this caliber and this size are only probably 6 to 8 months old. A lot of the fish they're breeding are just growing at astronomical rates here in this really warm weather, with the constant water changes and constant food in. Now I would love to put some of these fish in the viewing tank just over there and have a close look at them, but unfortunately a lot of these fish are sold and a lot of them are quite secret fish, so I've only been allowed to film them from the top, unfortunately. You can see they're just bagging up a fish over there. If I try and zoom in, They're just talking about one of the fish that's going off to the show. So we've got some green coloration to the water. I'm wondering if that's like an Elbergin powder or maybe an antibacterial, just to make shipping a lot safer for them. But it's quite interesting to see the different techniques they use and the different chemicals they actually use. But that's pretty much it for this farm tour. Really interesting, and I'm very thankful that I've been able to go and actually an honor to film at the Shogun Cafe. So that's it for today's video. If you do have any questions, please leave them down below. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and unfortunately we couldn't go to the main Shogun farm, which was a bit of a shame, but it's an absolute pleasure to be able to come here as well. Now, in the next videos, hopefully we're going to be visiting Chuk Market, which I've heard is, I think, the world's biggest, or one of the world's biggest fish markets for all tropical fish, goldfish, marine fish. I think they have absolutely everything. So that's coming up. We've also got the Bangkok Goldfish Show, where a lot of the breeders that we've actually visited have fish in the show, and Jimmy does as well. So there's going to be absolute world-class fish there. Some of the best fish in the world are going to be at that show, and that is going to be an absolutely awesome video. But that's it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. Remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.